What's up, real estate investors? So today we're going to discuss our planning for our second investment property. Now, when we bought our first property, we came up with essentially all of the capital, deposit, closing costs, rehab, a new fence, new backyard, all that came out of our pocket. It wasn't something that was financed. Our second property, though, I don't think, or we may not need to use our own funds. So I've heard it before from other real estate investors who are in the game and they've been doing it for a long time. They mention how they buy a property, rehab it, get it reappraised, the value then goes up, and then they, I don't know if they do an additional, what's it called, refinance, but we actually refinanced and we got a better rate in October, but they then end up taking the money that it went up. For example, if I, like my property when I first got it was at $360. Now it's at $393,000. We only owe $319,000 on that property. So we're looking at about $85,000 in equity. If we do an appraisal, it'll probably be about $100,000 in equity that technically I have access to grab and invest in another property, which is pretty awesome. And the benefit of that money is that money is a loan and that is tax-free. So I'm not 100% sure how it works. I am not a loan expert. I am in the process of becoming a real estate investor, and a loan guy would be able to explain that. I'll see if I can find a clip and I can maybe put it below. But essentially, I don't think we're going to need to take out or use our own money, for at least for the deposit and closing costs for our second property, which is awesome, which means that we actually have money to actually pay our contractors, to pay for new cabinets, new appliances, and things like that. Like we had to buy a new stove, we'd have to buy a new kitchen and its kitchen sink and all that stuff, and countertops and things like that. That's not something that, most of the time whenever you take over a property, those are pretty done. Let me just ignore this real quick. So yeah, it is, it's really exciting. So I'm going to show you guys all the numbers, right? So here are the numbers. Like, so this is what we owe right now. You guys see that? It's pretty awesome, right? Let me actually get the number up for myself so I can, see it. So currently we owe $319,581.09. Now, if you remember from my previous video, which I'll link below, it showed that the appraisal at the moment on Truvillia is $393,900, so $394. It's a big difference, right? Now, this is without appraisal. This is based on the market of what has sold around our unit. That is awesome. Now, disclaimer, because it's not all unicorns and rainbows, we did put in money. So yeah, it increased like close to $100,000, but you know, when you count in all the stuff that we spent, we're probably only on the plus maybe like $25,000. Regardless, $25,000 in a year and a half is really, 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 really good. So just wanted to show where we're at. We're kind of tinkering with what we're going to do. We're looking as far as what market we're going to get into, if we're going to stay within Kern County, if we're going to go to another part of the state of California. I personally don't want to stay in California, mainly because California is really strict. Now, the entire state of California isn't as strict as like LA City or LA County. LA County, LA City are a completely different beast when it comes to tenant rights, and they really just like stick it to the landlords or the people who own the properties. It's sometimes like unbelievable how they treat the people who are providing housing, but it's another conversation. So we'll see. Regardless, we're looking at our numbers, we're planning, we're brainstorming, we're working out the kinks as far as real estate contracts and how that's going to work out. We're looking at counties. We're also looking at Riverside County. So yeah, it's very exciting times. Very nerve-wracking. I will be documenting all of it and giving you guys what we're going through, and so you guys can know firsthand like what we have to go through. I think now that we've already gone through our first property, we're going to be very prepared, and we're going to be very confident and very stern on our requests and the estoppels and agreements and all that stuff, because whenever we're buying an investment property, or it's a first-time home buy, or a first-time or a single-family home, or whatever, right? If the property has tenants already, most of the time you're inheriting someone's problem, because if they weren't a problem, they wouldn't want to sell it, because why would you want to give something that's cash flowing? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Not unless they're retiring, but usually you're inheriting someone else's problem, and as far as like if it already has people in the units. So you're always kind of have to, be on guard to make sure that you're not inheriting someone else's headaches. So again, we'll go over that. So exciting news for us. We may have $100,000 in equity that we have access to, and we don't have to touch our own money to cover some of the expenses, which makes it awesome, which makes real estate, which this is kind of what makes real estate like really fun, because you're just like, yes, I get to have $100,000 tax free, and I can use that. Yes, of course it goes on the back end on the loan. That's, it's not free money, but tax free money all day.